Hello and welcome to CBSE with Sudhir, and we are on to the second chapter in the Poorvi textbook for students of class 6 of CBSE. My name is Sudhir. This one is a poem, a very interesting poem. But before I get to the poem में जाने से पहले I want to tell you a few pointers जिससे आपको मदद मिलेगी. और मदद क्यों मिलेगी? वो इसलिए कि आप इन सभी शब्दों का you can use all these words in your answers, and I'm going to tell you good quality words which will make your answer. If other students are writing at a particular level, you will be at the Mount Everest level. Okay, so if you want to climb Mount Everest, come with me. So this is the poem, The Raven and the Fox. So first of all, obviously you need to know कि ये raven भला होता क्या है, right? So raven is very similar to kawa, crow. Okay, that is in Tamil we call it kakai. Okay, so both crows and ravens are members of the Corvidae family. Okay, of the same family you can say, but this is the scientific name, the Corvidae family. Okay, but they have several differences. So if you were given an exercise by your teacher in your school, list out the half a dozen differences between crows and ravens, all that is here. It can be part of an exercise. In any case, you should know what is really the difference. Ravens are generally found more in Europe, mainly in countries like England. So raven is larger in size than the crow. कौवा तो आपने देखा होगा अपने घर के आसपास. So raven is larger in size compared to a crow. Their tail shapes are different. The tail shape of a raven and a crow are different. Raven has a larger and a thicker beak. Now this is important इस poem के हिसाब से. In the context of the poem, this is important. So please make a note of it that raven has a larger beak than a crow's beak, and crow also has a very sharp black color beak. Raven's feathers are a bit longer, thicker, and not very good looking. Now raven is not a very good looking bird. Well, frankly, for that matter, even crow, you may say it's not a very good looking bird. But crow has a particular shine. The feathers have a shine. Raven's feathers don't have that. Okay, they are a bit longer and they are not very tidy looking. Okay, they are not very good looking. There is a difference in their voice. Crow, what is the sound that a crow makes? I'm sure you all of you know that. Cow, 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 right? So that's how the crow makes a noise. But the raven has a croak, which means it is a more rough sounding voice. So they are known as a deeper croaking voice, whereas crows, cow, 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 cow. Okay, so the voices are different. So you see, even though they are members of the same family, there are so many differences between a raven and a crow. Raven is generally seen alone or at best as a pair. However, the crows, generally you will see lots of crows together. And you know what is a group of crows known as? We say, no, lions. When a group of lions moves together, that is known as a pride of lions. When you see a lot of sheep moving around, we say a flock of sheep. When you see a group of crows together, and this is important from a general knowledge and a quiz point of view, a lot many things. मैं आपको एक और बात बता देता हूं, मैंने पहले वीडियो में बताया था. If you are listening to my videos, you will get to know a lot of extra information जो कि आपको quiz में पूछा जा सकता है. If you are the kind of student who likes to take part in quizzes, what is a group of crows called? They're called murder. Can you imagine? Murder. That is what a group of crows is called. The raven is found in the wild. While ravens live longer, up to 15 to 20 years, crows have shorter lifespan. Both birds are intelligent. However, in this poem, the raven is not shown as an intelligent bird. It is shown as a slightly foolish kind of bird. Now, before we get to the poem, let's also look at the theme of the poem. Or shall we do this later? Let's go through the poem. उसके बाद हम themes पे आते हैं ताकि आपको समझने में और भी ज्यादा आसानी होगी. So let's get to the poem. So before we get there, these are the activities. We know that frogs croak. Did you know that ravens also croak? Now you know. Now you know. Which animal is shown to be cunning in story? Circle the correct one. The fox. The tiger is shown as a fierce, courageous animal. The bear is shown as a slightly lazy and धीरे धीरे चलने वाला. But fox is known as the cunning animal. Okay. So this is the photograph. This is a raven, large in size. with a long beak, holding something to eat in its beak, and the fox wants that. So what does the fox do? That is the story. Okay, that's the poem all about. So let's read. Mr. Raven was perched upon a limb. So, just have a look at it. Mr. Raven was perched upon a limb, and Reynard the fox looked at him. So you see, Raven, fox का नाम दिया है Reynard. Raven का नाम नहीं दिया है, but Raven को the poet has decided to address him by the respectful prefix of Mr. Mr. So and so, Mr. Kishore, Mr. Modi, Mr. Shah, Mr. Gadkari, right? So it is a prefix which conveys what? Respect. So Mr. Raven was perched. Perched matlab it is talking about its position at a particular place. यानी कि बैठा हुआ था upon a limb. Limb means the branch of a tree. जैसा वो illustration में दिखाया है. It is sitting on the branch of a tree, and Reynard the fox looked up at him. Also, you look at the rhyme scheme. BB, limb, him, beak, seek. Okay, so there is that kind of a rhyme scheme where all the words are ending with a similar kind of sound. For the raven held in his great big beak. So now you see, he has also tried to make the bird, the raven, look a little grand by talking about his great big beak. So please use these words in your answer. See, the trick to scoring high marks in your examinations is to quote a lot of words from the text itself. उससे क्या होगा? आपके टीचर को पता चलेगा कि इस बच्चे ने पोएम को या स्टोरी को कई बार पढ़ा है, जिसकी वजह से he or she is able to quote from the text of the poem or the story. So the trick to score high marks in CBSE or in any other board is to quote a lot from the text. तो यहां पर great big beak, because great से क्या होगा? The poet is kind of showing him in a slightly कि ये काफी superior है. It is showing him in a very superior kind of it, giving that kind of an impression. A morsel मतलब खाने का छोटा सा whatever piece of food. The fox would go far to seek. The fox would go far to seek का क्या मतलब है? That the fox would be willing to travel a long distance in order to eat that morsel of food. कि उसके लिए वो कुछ भी करने को तैयार है. Far का मतलब it's not just in literal distance type. Literal distance भी interpret कर सकते हैं, but यहां पर is saying that वो पाने के लिए वह कुछ भी करने को तैयार है. He would go to any distance, we say, no, he would go to any lengths in order to get it. You want to come first in the examination, you would go to any lengths to achieve that first position. So he would go far to seek that. Uske liye he is willing to do anything, he is willing to travel any distance. Said the fox, पहला stanza समझ में आ गया? Said the fox, 4 stanza है, छोटा सा poem है. Said the fox in admiring tones. Now he is saying, he is behaving as though he is admiring the raven, Mr. Raven. He is admiring him. Admire का क्या मतलब? That उसकी प्रशंसा करना या उसकी तारीफ करना. Yeah. My word, Sir Raven, you are a handsome bird. Now the raven is not a good-looking bird. I have already told you. But what is he doing? He's calling the raven a handsome bird. So झूठ number 1. Okay, झूठ number 1, and ये क्या हो गया? ये कर रहा है false praise. He is indulging in झूठी तारीफ. He is indulging in flattery. You are a very dumb person. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about anybody. You are a very dumb person. Somebody comes to him and says, you are so intelligent. Okay, we should always emphasize on the positives. That's a different thing. But in this particular case, it means that you are indulging in false praise. So he says, my word matlab, by God, he's almost like, promising on the God, my word means by God, bilkul sach bol raha hu, Sir Raven. And now sir is used in England when you are what is called knighted by the queen or the king of England. Okay, the word is called Knighed. Knighted. When you are knighted by the, like for instance, cricketer Vivian Richards, he's Sir Vivian Richards. Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of England, he's Sir Winston Churchill, right? So when you are knighted by the King or the Queen of England, you get to use the title of Sir before the name. Okay, before the name. So only people who are knighted get to use the word Sir before, prefix it before the name. Okay, otherwise no. जो लोग करते हैं ना, that's not the right thing. So he's kind of this thing. So Mr. Raven ने, he's calling him Sir Raven. So उसकी और भी तारीफ कर रहा है. So अरे मेरी इतनी तारीफ हो रही है. You are a handsome bird. Such feathers. Again, झूठ number 2. Because handsome नहीं है. Such feathers, I've already told you that its feathers are not supposed to be beautiful. The raven's feathers. So तारीफ number, झूठी तारीफ number 2. You know, such feathers means he's almost like, oh my God, such feathers, means he's almost trying to say such beautiful feathers. If you would only sing, the birds of these woods would call you king. And if you sing, you know, तुम इतनी अच्छा गाना गाते हो, whereas the raven actually croaks, which is a very rough and a very ugly sounding voice. अगर तुम गाना गाओगे इस पूरे woods is like a mini forest, not as big as a forest, but woods have similar looking trees. So woods is a mini forest with similar looking trees. So the birds of these woods would call you king. वो आपको राजा बुलाएंगे if only you would sing. So you see how much of flattery he is doing. He is kind of indulging in this kind of false praise in order to achieve something. And what is he trying to achieve? He's trying to achieve the morsel that he is holding by his inside his beak. The raven who did not see the joke forgot that his voice was just a croak. Now the raven को समझ नहीं आया. It is supposed to be an intelligent bird, but यहाँ पर वो झूठी तारीफ के शिकंजे में फंस गया. He fell into the trap of flattery. So he forgot that his voice was just a croak. That I don't have a good voice. If I sing, the birds of these woods are not going to call me king. He forgot that. He fell into the trap of flattery. He opened his beak to sing in his foolish pride. Now this is another important keyword. So इसको भी note कीजिए कि the poet is calling his pride as foolish. Why is he calling it as foolish? Because in his foolishness, he forgot that his voice was only a croak and he decided to sing because he wanted to be called the king by the birds of those woods. Understood? I hope you're noting it down because all this will help you write your answers to get the first rank in your class. Okay. And down fell the morsel the fox had eyed. The fox had eyed मतलब उसकी नजर उस पर थी और जैसे ही गाने के लिए उसने अपना बीक खोला वो morsel of food नीचे गिर गया और उसी पर नजर थी लोमड़ी की. ये लोमड़ी की चाल थी, बोलते हैं ना चतुर लोमड़ी. तो ये लोमड़ी की चाल थी कि उसको वो खाना चाहिए था, तो इसलिए उसने इस तरह की कहानी को रचा जिसकी वजह से और उसके झांसे में ये कौवा रूपी रेवन नीचे उसमें फंस गया. Ha ha, laughed the fox. And now you know, ignore sweet words that make you glow. That now you should know that अगर कोई इतनी मिठास के साथ बात करे, if someone speaks to you so sweetly, you should be careful. आपके कान खड़े हो जाने चाहिए. You should be more vigilant. अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसी तारीफ करे जो आपको मालूम है कि ये सच नहीं है, तो आपको सावधान रहना चाहिए. वो बोलते हैं ना किसी सीरियल में, सावधान रहें, सतर्क रहें, राइट? अगर आपने कोई ऐसी ड्रेस पहनी है जो आपको मालूम है कि ये ऑर्डिनरी है, इसमें कुछ खास बात नहीं है. Somebody comes to you and says, "What a lovely shirt you are wearing." You should be a little more. ये मेरी तारीफ क्यों कर रहा है? ये शर्ट तो ऑर्डिनरी है. ये शर्ट तो मैं पिछले 1 महीने से पहन रहा हूं. आज आके तारीफ क्यों कर रहा है? You should always be आपके your antenna should go up. So he says ignore sweet words that make you glow. Glow means because उस तारीफ से you are feeling good with yourself. Pride, my friend, is rather unwise. I'm sure this teaching is quite a surprise. Now, what is the meaning of the last two sentences? Okay, so foolish pride, I've already told you, is a important key phrase, and the last two lines का मतलब है आइड का मतलब है जो उसको जिस पर उसकी नजर थी जो उसको चाहिए था. The second last line, pride, my friend, is rather unwise. I've written it out so that it's easier, so that I don't miss out on any point. It says it warns against the dangers of excessive pride. You know, pride agar उस तरह का pride का मतलब मेरे ऊपर what I feel good about myself, घमंड, जिसको घमंड कहते हैं हिंदी में. घमंड मेरे दोस्त ये काफी बेवकूफी वाला काम है, right? So the poet is warning everyone against against the danger of excessive pride, because the fox has flattered the raven कि तुम गाना गाओ, अब गाना गाइए ना, okay, and it kind of causes the raven to drop the morsel that it was holding, जो भी पकड़ा हुआ था, and it means that pride can lead to foolish actions. Okay, that's what this thing, जिसका कि परिणाम अच्छा नहीं होता है, it leads to bad consequences. Also, the last line, I am sure this teaching is quite a surprise. He's saying ये जो सीख मिली है इससे तुमको काफी अचंबा हुआ होगा, काफी सरप्राइज हुआ होगा. इसका मतलब है this line suggests that the raven and also people like you and me, the reader, might not have expected कि ये परिणाम होगा. हमने ये नहीं सोचा था कि अरे इस तरह से वो अपना वो खाने की जो चीज है उस पर हाथ मारेगा. कितनी चतुराई से उसने ये कहानी बना के ये किया कि वो अपना वो खाने का जो था जो उसने अपने बीक में रखा था उसको नीचे गिरा दिया. सो इट काइंड ऑफ हाईलाइट्स द रेवन को भी अपनी गलती का एहसास हुआ होगा. सो बेसिकली जो फेबल का जो सेंट्रल लेसन क्या है, दैट वी all have a weakness to flattery. हमको हमारे बारे में कोई अच्छी बात करे, if anyone says good things about us, we will always like it, right? And that can prove to be our undoing. This is a stylish kind of a sentence which you should use in your public speaking, in your daily conversation, etc., right? And it underscores that this kind of experiences will make you realize that something like this could happen and you should be a little alert about it. So that is why this is a bit of a surprise, that you can be, even intelligent animals can be tricked if the pride gets if they feel very happy with the false praise and the flattery. Okay, so that is why this is a surprise. Let's quickly go through the themes of the story. Okay, what is the theme of the poem? Flattery and deception. Now you will understand it better, which is why I said इसको बाद में करते हैं. Flattery and deception, कि deceive किया, झूठी तारीफ and छल कपट, उसका हिंदी रूपांतर, झूठी तारीफ छल कपट. Okay, जिनको कि हिंदी में ज्यादा अच्छा समझ में आता है. The fable illustrates how flattery can be used as a manipulative tool. See, I am going to give you new words which you should be, because as you study with me, my effort is not just to teach you the story. These stories are very simple, but while we are doing the stories, if you keep listening to me, and I'm speaking very slowly, you will keep hearing new words, and these words you should make them part of your vocabulary. So what will happen is, as you move from 6th to 7th to 8th to 9th to 10th, by the time you reach 10th class, your vocabulary will be absolutely fantastic and wonderful. That is going to be the advantage of studying from Study with Sudhir, CBSE with Sudhir. So it is a manipulative मतलब this comes from the word manipulate. Manipulate मतलब किसी को इस तरह से अपने जाल में डालना. Okay, you manipulate something in order to make जो झूठ है उसको सच दिखाना और उसके चलते किसी को बेवकूफ बनाना, अपने झांसे में लेना. Okay, to deceive others and to achieve your own selfish goals. What was the selfish goal here? He wanted that piece of food. So in order to do that, he manipulated what the raven thought. He said it in such a way that raven thought, हाँ मैं तो गाना गा सकता हूँ. He called me a handsome bird. He called me Sir Raven. He praised my feathers. So he's saying, if I sing, the birds will call me king. Ha, acha hai, main karta hu. How many times we also do that, right? So that is the lesson. What is a fable? I hope you know what is a fable. I talked about it briefly in the first one. This is the definition. A fable is a short story. It features animals as characters usually, but sometimes you have humans also, but many times animals also are characters, and it conveys a moral lesson. Like इसमें moral lesson आपको अभी तक पता चल गया होगा. So fables में क्या होता है कि they make the birds and the animals behave like human beings. That's what is the case here also, right? So that is so Panchatantra, Aesop fables are examples of very popular fables. Okay, what happens in the poem? Flattery to deceive. The fox uses flattery to manipulate the raven into dropping his morsel of food, which looks like a piece of cheese. By praising the raven's supposed singing abilities, the fox takes advantage of the raven's vanity. Then the second one is vanity and foolishness. The raven's weakness is that it wants flattery. Please note this down. Use it in your answers. Okay, I have given it to you proper. जिस तरह से आप लिख सकते हैं. Therefore, it is foolish. Then the other point is cunning and intelligence. The fox represents cunning and intelligence. It shows how cleverness can be used for selfish purposes. Okay, and what is the moral of the story? Individuals should be careful if anyone tries to flatter them. Okay, the poem warns us that excessive praise can lead us to make foolish decisions. So ये आपको सीख मिलती है इस particular poem से. Now let's go back to the questions and answers. Very easy questions and answers. साथ में करते रहो, easy रहेगा. Okay, the Mr. Raven is a bird. The name of the fox is Reynard. Mr. Raven had dash in his beak, a piece of food, which is a cheese or any morsel. Morsel is general. Morsel is not a specific food item, but it looks like a cheese. Like at least in European critics वगैरह उसको cheese मानते हैं, because that's how it is in Europe. The fox calls the raven a good-looking bird. The fox asks the raven to sing. The raven and the fox live in the woods. The raven forgot that he croaked. He thought he could sing, but he forgot that उसकी voice actually बहुत ही खराब आवाज है. Okay. The raven opened his beak to sing. The food fell down. Stanza 4. The fox laughed at the raven. It is not wise to be too proud of oneself. इस तरह के sentences को जरा ध्यान से देखना कि यहां पर not है, तो not करके unwise मत लिख देना. It is not wise to be proud of oneself. The raven learned a teaching a lesson. You have to go through the उसमें क्या है? This teaching is quite a surprise. So you will use the word teaching. Okay, what is the word used in the poem itself? Okay, आगे चलते हैं. ये इसको मैच करते हैं. Perched. बताओ, we will do it together. Perched का मतलब I told you sitting on a branch. So this is D. Morsel is a piece of food. A. Seek means you are looking for something. E. Pride, to kind of feeling that you are better than the others. C. Eyed matlab you are look for something. To it is E. No, sorry. Eyed, looked at with interest. Sorry, it is B. Okay, eyed is B. Limb is a branch of a tree. Woods is a small area of forest with similar kind of trees. F. Great. I hope you got it all right. Let's look at the pictures. इसको order में बताओ. This is pretty easy. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4. तो सबसे पहले तो रेवन ने ये इसको मिला होगा. So this is 1. Then उसके बाद it has gone to the tree. So this is 2. Then उसके बाद it has asked it to sing. So the piece of food has fallen down. So this is 3 and this is 4. That the fox Lombri has gone away with the morsel, and the raven is feeling very foolish at the end of it. Next question, padho. Read the question and then we will do the answers. Sir Raven, you are a handsome bird. Such feathers, if you would only sing, the birds of these woods would call you king. Such feathers refers to shiny and beautiful. Such beautiful feathers. That's what he's trying to say. Why would the birds of the woods call the raven king? Because if he sings so beautifully, they would think that, oh, such a person, such a bird with such a beautiful voice is ideal to be, made the king of the woods, of the birds. So we would make him king. Why does the fox address the raven as sir? Because he wants to make him feel good, wants to address him as sir, and make the raven believe that, look at this fox, he's kind of giving me so much of respect and attention. The raven did not see the joke, forgot that the voice was just a croak. He opened his beak in his foolish pride. Why does the raven open his beak? In order to sing. Complete the following with one word from the given lines. Fox is clever. The raven is foolish. Foolish pride. Why does the raven forget that his voice is just a croak? Because he kind of gets flattered by the fox telling him that, if you would sing, if you would only sing, meaning to convey that his voice is very good and the birds of the woods would make him the king. How does Reynard make the raven king? By indulging in false praise, by indulging in flattery, by telling him that, you could, you are a handsome bird with such feathers, and if you sing. Why does Reynard say that the pride is not wise? The pride is not wise because it ends up making you take wrong decisions, make wrong decisions, as a result of which you end up losing what you have. In this case, what did he lose? He lost the piece of food that he was holding in his long beak. So pride is not wise. You should not fall prey to flattery and false praise. Give one reason why the teaching is quite a surprise, because we did not expect this kind of an ending. We did not expect कि लोमड़ी इस तरह की चाल चलेगी, that the fox would do this kind of a trick in order to get that piece of food, right? That the raven was holding. So the teaching is therefore quite a surprise both to the raven as well as to the readers like you and me, that, oh, in this way people can cheat. So you have to be very careful, and that's a lesson for each one of you. You have to be very careful about how people out there in this world can come to cheat you. Okay, imagine someone praises you too much. How would you react? You would feel good. अरे मैं तो बढ़िया हूँ कि देखो कितनी तारीफें. He's my best friend. She's my best friend. She says so many good things about me, right? While I do say that you should say good things about anyone, but you should say the truth. If you feel that, okay, someone is very intelligent, someone is very good in, let's say, mathematics, someone is very good in English, someone is very good in physics, you should go and praise the person. But if someone is bad, you should not say things just for the sake of it. You should not indulge in flattery. A stanza, this is very easy. You should be able to do the thing about the rhyming part of it. This is very easy. This is your lesson. I want you to do it and put it in the comment section when you do it. Okay. Big and beak. Now they all sound with the same sound, B, B. Okay. So song of sweet birds, SS. This is called alliteration. When the same consonant is used together in two successive words to give it a particular sound to the line. So alliteration is repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words. When two or more words together begin with the same sound, it is called alliteration. Now this is a poetic device. It is called what? A poetic device used in poems in order to have a certain effect. और alliteration के बारे में आपको जानना जरूरी है, because this is something which you will constantly refer to when you go up the ladder to higher classes. Okay, this is another exercise which I want you to do, and I want you to put it in the comment section. Please put it in the comment section. अपने students को भी ये video share करो, so that more and more of you actually interact with me in the comment section, and then I can help you better. कोई भी doubt होगा तो I can deal with that. This is again very easy. करें? अरे रे. करो. I will wait for you by the time I get my pen out. Perched. Perched का opposite. You have to say the opposite of this. So perched का opposite is flew. यहाँ पे perched मतलब है sitting, flew मतलब उड़ गया. Forgot, remembered. Okay, I will not write here. Foolish. What is the opposite of foolish? Foolish का opposite is wise. Pride यानी कि घमंड. घमंड का opposite is humility, that you are very humble. Laughed का opposite will be cried. You know, हंसा, रोया. Ignore, yani ki you kind of ignore, you don't take note of anybody. The opposite is notice. Glow means, you kind of there is a lot of light on your face. The opposite is dim, when there is no light at all. It is all dark. And use any 4 words from the table given above to make sentences of your own. This is your exercise number 3. Every chapter, I'll give you 3 to 4 exercises which you need to do and put it in the comment section. Okay, that's how you will get better. Now, this is all listening thing, which is, these are exercises which you need to do on your own at home. Okay, and this is this thing. Now, now this was in the form of a poem. This is exercise number 4. You need to write a story. Write a short story of about 50 words. Put it in the comment section. Okay, so that we will have a competition as to who is better. Okay, and then we will see what kind of prizes, etc., that we can give at the end of the year. Okay, so let's look at something like that. Okay, and write the story you narrated in the form of conversation. Now, this is pretty easy. Okay, I think we have gone to the, this is origami, etc. So with this, we come to the end. I hope maza aaya, kuch seekhne ko mila, kuch naye words, and one word that I want you to use in your conversations, public speaking, is manipulate, manipulative. Okay, this is the new word that you have learned in today's lesson, and I hope to see you now in the next chapter, which will be chapter 3 in unit 1 of this particular book called Poorvi Textbook for CBSE Classic Students. Share this video with your classmates and friends. Let them know that you are going to get the entire English and maybe even social studies and other subjects on this channel. Okay, tata, bye bye till the next video out here on CBSE with Sudhir. God bless you. Namaskar. Vanakkam.